Humans weren't trusted with battleships now. Hours, shadows, planets, asterisk, Captain Elias Rourke stood in the cold command chamber, fixed on the black screen in front of him. The emergency call had ended 15 minutes ago. Static now filled the line, soft and haunting. The mining colony on Ventra 4 was gone. No Alliance patrols, no rescue ships, nothing. He clenched his jaw. 342 civilians lived, their families, workers, children. They begged for help. No one came again. He turned to the others in the room. Kira, his chief engineer, stood beside the navigation table, arms crossed tight across her chest. Malik leaned on the weapons console, silent, his expression unreadable. Priya sat by the medbay door, staring down at her hands. Each one of them had lost someone to these raids. This wasn't just war, it was abandonment. The Galactic Concord had promised protection when Earth joined. In exchange, they restricted Earth's defense systems. No warships, no long-range weapons, no deep space. Fighter units, they called it safety, but it wasn't safe. The pirates attacking human colonies used better weapons than Earth ever had. They came often. Always far from Alliance patrol zones. Always just after communications failed. The pattern was clear. Rourke walked slowly to the center of the room and pressed a button on the control panel. The wall behind him slid open with a low hiss. Cold white lights lit up a large viewing window revealing a ship docked below. The Silent Judgment. Its black hull shimmered with energy pulses. It was over 400 meters long, sleek, deadly, and silent. The ship had no official records, no registration, and no name in Earth's fleet. It had been built in secret, deep beneath the ice of Titan's crust. The facility, Project Dawn, had started with only 50 people. Now it housed nearly 300, all working to build what the Alliance forbade. It wasn't called a warship. That would break the treaty. On paper, the Silent Judgment was a search and rescue craft with asteroid deflection gear, emergency engines, and radiation shields. In reality, it was much more. Kira stepped up beside Rourke. The core is fully charged. Weapons are stable. Stealth systems ready. We can fly now. Malik straightened. But if we do, they'll know. The Alliance watches everything between Jupiter and Neptune. Rourke didn't answer right away. His eyes stayed on the ship below. He remembered when the Concorde first arrived. They came in shining vessels, glowing symbols, soft voices, and promises. Humanity had finally joined something greater, peace between the stars. But then the rules came. Earth could trade, could explore, could build, but not defend. Properly. Rourke had served in Earth fleet once, captain with medals and honors. Then the rules came, and they took his ship away. His command. His tools. They didn't take his mind. When the colony on Arcadia was destroyed, and his sister's name appeared on the casualty list, something inside him changed. That was the day he stopped believing. That was the day he started building. Kira placed a hand on his shoulder. You saw the report? This wasn't a simple raid. The weapons used on Ventra 4 matched the same energy readings as Alliance Type 7 cannons. Exact same. And the pirates had scramblers strong enough to block for emergency beacons, Malik added. That's not pirate tech. That's military grade. Priya finally looked up. Her voice was soft. There were children on that colony. I sent vaccines there last month. I knew some of them by name. The room fell quiet again. Rourke stepped forward. Get the ship ready for launch. Low energy output, no external lights. Activate full stealth. Kira blinked. We're going, we have to, Rourke said. The Alliance won't protect us. We've waited long enough. Malik frowned. Ventra 5 is next. They mine rare metals. The colony's unarmed, isolated. If the raiders hit them, they won't stand a chance. Then we stop them, Rourke said. Fly silent. No transponder. Get close. We see. What's really happening? If the pirates are Alliance funded, we get proof. And if they spot us? Kira asked. Rourke turned to her. Then we stop being quiet. The lights dimmed as alarms softly buzzed. Priya stood up, her coat swaying around her legs. Malik powered up the shield generator manually, bypassing the official safety systems. Below the command chamber, hangar. Lights blinked on. The silent judgment came to life. A low hum filled the station. Then a sharp beep echoed through the room. Ben, the young communications tech, rushed in.
Captain, sir.
"We've got something. What is it?" Rourke asked. Ben swallowed. "There's a second ship, sir. It just decloaked off Titan's far orbit. Big, and it's human." Everyone turned. "That can't be," Kira whispered. No Earth vessel that size was ever. Ben looked at the screen. "It's not registered. No ID, but it's signaling one word." Rourke stepped closer, reading the message as it appeared. "Follow." Rourke looked at his crew. Something was happening. Something bigger than they ever expected, and it had just begun. Asterisk Captain Rourke stared at the message blinking on the screen. "Follow," that was it. No name, no call sign, just that one word. Kira stepped beside him, scanning the unknown ship. On her tablet, "It's massive, Captain. It's almost 600 meters, no visible weapons, no engine trail. It's like it just appeared." Malik narrowed his eyes. "Could be a trap, could be Alliance. Then why not blast us already?" Priya said. "We're not exactly hidden anymore." Ben sat at the console, fingers flying across controls. "Whatever it is, it's matching our orbit. It's not moving aggressive, just watching." Rourke took a slow breath. "Open a narrowband channel. Let's see if they answer." Ben nodded and opened the line. Static hissed, then cleared. A woman's voice came through, calm, steady. "Captain Rourke, I was hoping it would be you." The crew froze. Rourke stepped forward. "Identify yourself." A pause, then the voice returned. "Mara Quinn, captain of the Long Watch." Rourke felt his chest tighten. That name, it was from a ghost story. A decade ago, Earth launched a deep-range ship called the Long Watch. It vanished. No trace, no signal. Declared lost in space. Malik looked shocked. "She's alive. That ship's a myth." Rourke nodded slowly. "You were supposed to be dead." "Supposed to be," Mara replied. "But we didn't die. We were erased." "What do you want from us?" Rourke asked. "Nothing," she said. "Only to warn you, and not offer help. You're not the only ones who built something in secret." Then back at the screen. "Why now?" he asked. "Because you're not just building ships," she said. "You're waking up the wrong people. The ones who wanted us silent. Ones who let colonies burn so humans stay afraid." Kira shook her head in disbelief. "How do you know about Project Dawn?" "I've been watching," Mara answered, "and listening." A second message blinked onto the screen. Coordinates. A location on the edge of the Helix Belt. Near Venture 5. "We saw movement there," Mara added. "For ships? Same design as the ones that hit Venture 4? Rourke clenched his fists. "You tracked them?" "Yes," she said. "And they're preparing for another strike?" Ben looked up from his console. "Sir, it checks out. The coordinates match the mining path the colony uses. It's perfect for an ambush." Rourke stared at the screen. "How long until they hit?" "Less than 30 hours, Mara said. "We can be there in 12, if we move now." Rourke nodded. "All right, we move." "But how do we know we can trust her?" Malik asked. Rourke glanced at the ship still orbiting in silence. She could have fired already. She didn't. That's trust enough. They changed course. Silent Judgment moved in sync with the Long Watch. Both ships quiet, their engines humming low under stealth power. Titan faded behind them. Stars stretched wider as they drifted through the edge of Saturn's rings. Rourke called a meeting in the small briefing chamber. Mara appeared via secure hologram. Her face lined with years of survival. Her eyes sharp. "I've tracked these raids for years," she explained. "They follow a pattern. Remote colonies. Weak defenses, always just far enough from Alliance patrols." "Why doesn't the Alliance respond faster?" Priya asked. "They do," Mara said. "But only after the damage is done." Kira leaned forward. "That's no accident, is it?" No, Mara answered. It's strategy. Keep humans desperate. Make sure we never ask for more than scraps. Malik. Look down. And every colony they lose makes the next one easier to control. Mara nodded. That's the plan. Ben walked in holding a data chip. We decoded a signal fragment from the Ventrifor debris. It's Alliance code. Kind. Only used in internal orders. Kira took the chip and projected the message. It was short. Observation complete. Remove assets. Prepare Phase 3. Rourke looked at the others. They're not just allowing attacks. They're studying them. Testing something. Silence fell over the room. We're going to Venture 5, Rourke said. We intercept those ships. We disable them. And we find out what Phase 3 is. Ah. Mara's hologram flickered. You won't be alone. I've got 6 more ships. Quiet, fast, and angry. They've been waiting for this. Rourke stood.
Ow.
Then let's give them something to remember. Hours. Later, the silent judgment entered the Helix belt. Sensors scanned ahead. The pirate ships were, there 4 of them, hiding behind drifting rocks, waiting. The colony transport beacon was getting closer. Rourke's eyes narrowed. We hit first, he said. And just as he gave the order to power up weapons, a 5th ship appeared. Not pirate, not Alliance. Human, but unknown. An armed Ben shouted. Captain, it's locking on to us. Rourke stepped forward. Then it's time to speak louder. The silent judgment powered up in silence. No alarms. No flashing lights. Just a low thrum through the floor. The crew held their breath. The unknown ship ahead drifted slowly through the asteroid field, nose aimed directly at them. No signal. No message. Captain Rourke stood at the center of the bridge, watching the screen. Status. Kira's voice was tight. Shields are online. Weapons hot, but not targeted. It's waiting. Malik studied the readings. Human design, but not one of ours. And not Alliance either. Armor plating is thick. Heat signature is low. She's been sitting here a while. Ben's fingers danced over the controls. Still no response. I'm sending another ping. The screen stayed blank. Then it changed. A message appeared in pale green text. Don't fire. I'm not here to fight. Ben looked back at Rourke. That's it. Rourke nodded. Open a secure line. Static hissed, then cleared. A deep, quiet voice came through. This is Commander Voss of the Vindicator. We tracked the raiders here. Looks like you did too. Rourke didn't speak right away. His crew exchanged glances. Another hidden human ship. Another captain in the shadows. Voss continued, calm and clear. We're not part of Earth's fleet. Not anymore. Same reason you're out here, I bet. Got tired of watching colonies die. Rourke stepped closer to the console. How did you find us? We've been listening, Voss said. 2 colony distress calls. 2 Alliance comes. And to your ship. We've heard stories about the silent judgment. Figured it was time we met. Malik muttered, words getting around fast. Why should we trust you? Rourke asked. You shouldn't, Voss replied. But we're not aiming weapons at you. The same can't be said for the 4 pirate ships just behind those rocks. They'll hit the transport in 20 minutes unless we act. Kira looked up from her console. He's right. I've got thermal spikes. The raiders are locking into formation. They're ready to strike. Rourke made his choice. All right, Voss. We move together, no friendly fire. Agreed. Agreed, Voss answered. The 2 ships broke formation and split left and right, weaving through the asteroid belt. The Vindicator moved like a shadow, big, slow at first, but precise. The silent judgment took the high pass, rising above the rocks for a clean line of sight. Kira called out, Pirates are scanning. They've spotted us. Alik added. Weapons. Charging. 3 ships. Turning toward us. 1 moving to intercept the transport. Not today, Rourke said. Malik hit their engines. Disable, don't destroy. A silent beam of energy lanced out from the Judgment's forward cannon. 1 pirate ship jolted, spun sideways, then went dark. Fire burst from its side as it lost power and drifted. The other 2 ships opened fire. Green bolts of plasma streaked toward the Judgment. Shields holding, Kira yelled. No damage yet. Malik fired again. Another clean hit. The second pirate ship shuddered, then went limp. Rourke switched channels. Voss, your turn? We see them, Voss replied. The Vindicator powered forward, slower but heavier. A sharp boom sounded. Through space, as its kinetic weapon fired, the third pirate ship exploded in silence, metal chunks scattering through the field. But the last raider wasn't done. It reached the colony transport. Ben's voice cracked. They've latched on. They're trying to breach the hull. Close the gap, Rourke ordered. Engage rescue systems. Priya, get medical gear ready. We're going in. The Judgment surged forward. Kira activated the magnetic grapple. The ship slammed a hook into the side of the transport, locking them together. Malik switched weapons to precision pulse, firing breach countermeasures. The pirate boarding tubes lit up red, then burst apart. Flames and broken steel flew out into space. Boarding stopped, Ben called. Inside the colony ship, the crew reported survivors, families crying, injured workers. One child with a broken arm and a stuffed toy clutched tight. Rourke stood silently at the edge of the view screen, watching as medpods brought survivors. Aboard! Then Ben gasped. Captain, we found something. What is it? Rourke asked. Ben's hand shook as he replayed the video footage from inside the pirate ship's bridge. The controls weren't pirate grade. They were clean, high-tech, military issue. Then the camera zoomed in. A small silver badge sat on the console, an Alliance crest. This wasn't just a raid, Ben said slowly. They were using Alliance. Ships, Rourke's face hardened. Get everything off that ship. Data logs. Anything. But sir, Kira said, the Alliance will be watching. If we expose this, we expose ourselves. Rourke didn't blink. Good. As the silent judgment broke away from the burning wrecks and drifted silently into the void, Rourke sent one last message to Mara and Voss. It's time. We show them what humans really are. Far behind them, another hidden colony sent. Out a single word? Help. Captain Rourke stood at the center of the silent judgment's briefing room. The lights were dim, and the screen in front of them showed a frozen frame from the pirate ship they had just disabled. The silver badge with the Alliance symbol sat on the console like a secret waiting to explode. No one in the room spoke for. A moment, Malik finally broke the silence. We've seen hints. We've had suspicions. But now we have proof. The Alliance is backing these pirates. Priya's voice was low. Or worse. They are the pirates. Kira shook her head. Badge could have been stolen. We don't know everything yet. Rourke looked at the screen. We will. They spent the next hours pulling every bit of data from the wrecked pirate ship. Its black box held logs, coordinates, orders, and encryption. The kind only high level. Alliance officers used Voss, sent over his best slicer, a quiet woman named Rena, who had once worked inside an Alliance data vault. She worked in silence, fingers moving like lightning over the stolen files. When the files finally cracked open, a map appeared on the screen. Red marks covered human space colonies, transport lanes, mining stations. Most had been hit already. Some were marked with strange code names. Test Zone Alpha, Harvest Ready. No recovery. Rourke's eyes narrowed. These aren't just targets. These are experiments. Rena nodded. The language used here is scientific. These aren't pirate attacks. They're controlled incidents. Set up. Studied. One of the entries flashed with a recent timestamp. Phase 3, Aurora Station. Active scan in progress. Malik leaned forward. Aurora Station? That's a science hub. Civilian only. They've got families there. 400 people, Kira added. Most of them don't even have emergency escape pods. Rourke didn't wait. Plot a course. Full speed. Ben spoke up from his console. Sir, there's more. What? He tapped the screen, and a new message appeared. This one was from an encrypted Alliance channel sent just hours ago. Observation teams deployed. Subject: Synthetic Replication Initiative active. Civilian assets unaware. Priya read it aloud, slowly. Synthetic replication. Kira's face went pale. Rourke stared at the screen, silent for a moment. Then he turned to his crew. They're not just letting colonies die, they're replacing us. Testing how humans react. Watching from the shadows, Malik stood up. Then we end the shadows. Silent Judgment jumped into high-speed travel, followed closely by the Vindicator and Mara's Long Watch. As they neared Aurora Station, Rena continued digging through the data. She found something else: strange energy readings under the station, a secret facility hidden beneath it, built with funds routed through fake science projects. When the ships arrived, Aurora Station seemed peaceful. Families moved through the domes. Children played in low-gravity fields. Miners came and went. Everything looked normal. But it wasn't. Kira ran the scans again. Captain, under the central dome, there's an underground section not listed in any registry. It's got shielding, thick shielding. It'd be a lab? Priya asked. Or a prison? Malik said. Rourke opened a private channel to the station's administrator. This is Captain Rourke, from the Silent Judgment. We need to speak with you. It's urgent. A middle-aged man with tired eyes appeared on the screen. His voice was calm but cautious. Captain, I wasn't aware of any scheduled visits. There's no time. You're in danger. Let us dock. There was a pause. Then the man gave a small nod. Docking Bay 3. But be quick. Rourke, Malik, and Priya boarded a shuttle and descended to the station. Once inside, they were met with polite smiles and confusion. No one knew about any secret lab. At least not the staff they met. But then a young girl, maybe 12, tugged at Priya's sleeve. Are you here to take the fake ones away? She asked. Priya knelt down. What do you mean, sweetie? The girl looked around, then whispered, They come at night. They take people into the floor. When they come back, they're not right anymore. They smile too much. They talk too slow. Rourke stood up fast. Where do they take them? She pointed to the garden dome. There's a door behind the tall plants. Malik and Rourke followed the directions. Behind a patch of glowing vines, they found it. A metal door with no markings. It's no lock. Just a fingerprint reader. Rourke pressed his thumb to it. It opened. A lift took them down. Way down. What they found at the bottom made Rourke's stomach twist. Rows of clear pods. One held a person. Or something that looked like a person. Some were exact copies of people they had just seen on the surface. And one of them was Rourke. Malik stepped back. What is this? Rourke stared at his own face floating in that pod. They're not watching us. He looked up at the cameras in the ceiling. They're studying us. Then the lift behind them dinged. Someone else was coming down. Asterisk, the elevator door slid open with a low hiss. Rourke and Malik stepped back, hands on their sidearms. The dim light from the lab reflected off the rows of cloning pods behind them. The silence was thick. A single figure stepped out. She was tall, slim, dressed in a simple white coat. Her face was calm, but her eyes were too still, too cold. She didn't look surprised. She didn't look angry. She looked prepared. Captain. Rourke, she said with a polite nod. You weren't expected, clearly, Rourke answered. Who are you? My name is Dr. Siva. I oversee biological development at Aurora Station. Malik moved closer to one of the pods, tapping the glass. You call this biological development? Siva walked forward slowly, her hands folded in front of her. They're not clones in the traditional sense. They're behavioral mirrors. Meant to replace key figures in colonies after crises. To ease fear. To maintain control. Rourke stared at her. Control? You're replacing real people with copies. She tilted her head slightly. Some humans panic after attacks. They question leadership. They resist authority. These replacements help smooth the process. Their memories are programmed, their habits trained. They believe they are who they copy. That's not help, Rourke said. That's a lie. Survival, Siva replied. The Alliance wants peace. But humans are unpredictable. So we guide the story. Keep the colonies calm. Keep the data clean. Malik raised his voice. What happens to the real people? Siva didn't answer. Rourke took a step toward her. Where's the original station director? She glanced past him. He was uncooperative. Rourke's fist tightened. You murdered him. I did what was required, she said without emotion. Behind her, the lights on one of the pods turned red. The system had detected Rourke's presence. The clone inside twitched, eyes fluttering open. Malik stepped back. That thing's waking up. Rourke turned to the doctor. Shut it down. I can't, Siva said. Once activated, it finishes the imprint. Then it's you. The clone inside looked at Rourke with soft, confused eyes. Then it smiled. Rourke aimed his sidearm. Back away. Psst. But Siva raised a small device. You won't shoot. If this remote is damaged, the entire system dumps its failsafes. Of colonies could lose their guides instantly. Chaos would spread. She was bluffing, but only partly. Rourke could feel it. Before he could speak again, Malik's communicator buzzed. Kira here, came the voice. You've got a problem. A ship just dropped out of warp near the station. Alliance markings, no ID. They're not responding to hails. Can you identify it? Malik asked. Kira's voice was tense. It's not on any known fleet list. Could be a Black Ops unit. Rourke nodded. Get everyone ready. We may need to leave fast. Siva's eyes narrowed. If you go public with what you've seen, the Alliance will deny it all. They'll say you staged this. Say we're rogue scientists. You won't win. Rourke stared her down. Maybe not right away. People are watching now. Got more friends than you think? Suddenly, the pod beside Rourke cracked open. The clone stepped out, barefoot and silent. It looked exactly like him. Same scar, same eyes, same voice when it spoke. I am Captain Elias Rourke. You're interfering with a protected experiment. Malik swore and raised his weapon. This is twisted. The real Rourke didn't flinch. No, this is over. He stepped forward and grabbed the clone's wrist. He tried to pull back, but Rourke shoved it hard into the wall. The clone fell, struggling like a puppet on loose strings. Dr. Siva raised her remote again, but this time, Malik was faster. A sharp zap from his sidearm struck the device, knocking it from her hand. Sparks flew. The backup generator hummed. No. More games, Malik growled. Above them, lab lights flickered. Then the floor shook. Ben's voice came through the cum. Captain, that Alliance ship is launching drones. They're scanning the station. If they find the lab, they'll clean it, Rourke said. Burn everything. Malik kicked open the emergency locker. Inside was a data core unit. Rourke. Look to Siva. I'm taking every file you have. Every image, every recording. If you so much as breathe wrong, I'll send it to every human colony within reach. Siva didn't fight back. She simply sat down, hands in her lap, calm as ever. As the crew rushed back to the surface, alarms sounded across the station. Alliance drones buzzed outside the dome, scanning every inch. Kira's voice rang out. You need to go now. The shuttle took off just as the first plasma beam hit the ground where the lab had been. A bright explosion lit up the sky. From above, Aurora Station looked peaceful again. But now Rourke had the truth, and this time he was going to share it with everyone. Asterisk, the silent judgment flew fast and low, skimming just above the outer rings of Saturn, its stealth systems working overtime. Inside, the crew was quiet. The lab on Aurora Station was gone burned to ash by the Alliance drones. But the data was saved. Kira worked at her console, eyes sharp. We've transferred every file from the cloning lab to the secure core. Backups are locked. Even if they catch us, they won't stop the message. Malik paced near the main viewport. They won't just chase us now. They'll hunt us. That lab was never meant to be found. Priya nodded. We exposed them. We crossed a line. Rourke stood near the main screen, watching as stars drifted by. Then let's make it count. Ben turned from the cum station. Sir, we've received messages from 3 colonies. They saw the encrypted signal we sent. They're forwarding it. People are talking. How many? Rourke asked. Ben smiled a little. Thousands, maybe more. The ship's crew watched the screen as messages poured in. One from Mars Outpost, one from Europa, one from the Helix Farms. We saw what they did. We're with you. Keep sending the truth. We'll spread it, don't stop. You're not alone. Rourke felt something rise in his chest. Hope. Real. Burning hope. But then another alert flashed. An Alliance cruiser had entered the outer system, its name Vigilant Spear. Malik checked the data. Heavy armor, full weapons, no escort. This ship is built for one purpose: chase and destroy. Ben's hands flew over the console, scanning wide. They're not looking for us exactly, they're looking for data trails. Any sign of message transfers? Rourke spoke quickly. Lock down all external comms. Shut everything that pings a trace. The crew jumped to work. The ship dimmed again, slipping into full stealth, but the spear kept moving. It was headed toward Earth. Kira frowned. They're going to Earth Command. No, Rourke said. They're going to force Earth to shut us down. If they can't catch us, they'll pressure the homeworld. Cut us off from support. Ben leaned forward, Captain. He intercepted a burst message from the cruiser. It's a command packet. One word. What word? Rourke asked. Ben hesitated. Cleanse. The air turned cold. Malik whispered, they're planning to wipe something. Kira's face tightened. Or someone. Rourke turned fast. Where's the cruiser's first destination? Ben pulled up the route. His face went pale. New Geneva Station. Priya gasped. That's where Earth Fleet keeps their archives. Military records. Communications logs. Malik finished. Rourke's voice was low, but firm. Then we don't. Let them. The crew knew what he meant. They had a choice: run and survive, or fight and risk everything. Kira stood up. We didn't build the silent judgment to hide. Malik smirked. Time to give that cruiser a headache, Ben asked. Do we call for help? Rourke nodded. Yes, Mara, Voss. Anyone who's ready. Priya tapped the med console. I'll prep the bays. We might have wounded soon. They moved into position. The Judgment arched up through Neptune's shadow, boosting speed. They had 6 hours before the Vigilant Spear reached New Geneva. Rourke stared at the ship's silhouette on the scanner. We'll hit them before they reach orbit. 2 hours later, Mara's Long Watch and Voss's Vindicator joined them. 3 ships. Fast, angry, silent. Inside the Judgment, Malik prepared the weapons. They'll outgun us, but not outthink us. Kira overclocked the stealth system. If we fly low, skim the planet's magnetic field, they won't spot us until it's too late. Ben coordinated the strike route. We jump in fast, hit the engines, then vanish. As the Judgment approached New Geneva, the stars around, it seemed still. The Spear was in low orbit, engines burning, charging weapons. Didn't expect company. Rourke gave the order. Now. The silent Judgment dropped from stealth like a falling star, diving at the cruiser's engine bay. First beam hit clean sparks and fire. Mara's ship cut across the top hull, disabling sensors. Voss's Vindicator hit the cum array. Alarms rang. Alliance crews scrambled, but it was too late. Malik shouted, second volley ready, Rourke said. Explosions bloomed across the Spear's back. The cruiser spun slowly, weapons trying to lock, but the Judgment was gone. It vanished behind New Geneva's orbit, slipping into shadow. On board, Ben shouted, they're retreating. Engines failing? Rourke exhaled. Good. Let them limp home. Kira smiled. Earth Fleet saw everything. Rourke nodded. Then now, it's not just our fight. From Earth to Mars, from Luna to deep mining posts, one signal now moved faster than Alliance sensors could catch. The truth lives, and so do we. The silent Judgment floated in high orbit above Mars, its hull still glowing faintly from the battle near New Geneva. Inside, the crew stood gathered around the main screen. It showed dozens of messages pouring in from across human space colonies, outposts, research stations. We saw it. We heard everything. You stood up, so will we. Tell us what comes next. Captain Rourke leaned on the edge of the console. His face was calm, but the fire in his eyes hadn't gone out. The Alliance had tried to erase them. The truth? Silence every voice. But instead, their actions had woken a sleeping giant dash humanity. Kira sat nearby, scanning the open frequencies. They're scrambling. Alliance Command doesn't know what to say. The video from the cruiser attack has already reached 36 systems, Ben added. Some Alliance officers are resigning. The few are leaking more files. Looks like we're not the only ones who were tired of being lied to. Malik looked at the list on the screen. 14 new ships. Civilians, converted miners, freighters with shields welded on. They're calling themselves the Free Fleet. Priya smiled softly. That's a good name. Rourke stood up straight. It's more than a name now, it's a movement. He looked out the front viewport, past the red curve of Mars. Toward the glowing blue of Earth in the distance. They thought we'd break, he said quietly. But all they did was bring us together. A chime echoed through the ship. An incoming signal. Ben checked it. Encrypted. High security. It's from Earth Command. Put it through, Rourke said. The screen flickered, then a face appeared. D'Admiral Keen, one of the highest-ranking officers in Earth's defense structure. His expression was serious, but not hostile. Captain Rourke, the Admiral said, I should court-martial you. You disobeyed orders, broke treaties, and flew a ship that doesn't officially exist. I know, sir. But, Keen continued, you also saved thousands of lives, exposed a secret operation buried deep inside the Alliance, and gave humanity its voice back. Rourke said nothing. He was waiting. Admiral Keen leaned forward. The Council is calling for a full review. Some Alliance members are demanding answers. A few are starting to listen. What about us? Rourke asked. Keen nodded. We want you to come in, not to arrest you but to talk. Earth needs you now. We need the Free Fleet to be more than rumors and fire. Rourke glanced at his crew. Kira, Malik, Priya, Ben, they were watching him, standing together like they had since the beginning. I'll come, Rourke said, but not alone. I want every colony to have a seat. Every outpost, not just Earth, not just politicians. Keen took a breath. That's a big ask. Then it's the right one. The line went silent for a moment. Then Keen gave a small, tired smile. I'll see what I can do. The call ended. Malik let out a breath. So that's it? We go back? And sit at a table now? Rourke shook his head. No, we sit at the tableland. We change the rules. Later that night, the ship drifted in silence above the dark side of the moon. Lights twinkled from stations below. Messages continued to come in, some from humans, others from species who had been watching quietly. One message came from Vega 4, a small allied species ignored for years. We never thought humans would stand up for anyone but themselves. We were wrong. Thank you. Another came from a young girl on a mining colony. My dad says you made space safe again, in the command room. Rourke sat alone, a cup of cold coffee in his hand. The stars stretched wide and silent outside the window. Somewhere out there, the Alliance still held power, still watched, still waited, but now, so did humanity. He tapped the console and recorded a message. This is Captain Elias Rourke, of the Silent Judgment. To every person who feels forgotten, to every colony left behind, you are not alone. We see you, we hear you, and we're coming not as conquerors, not as rebels, but as defenders. We were told to be quiet. We chose to speak. They told us we weren't ready. We proved we were. They told us we couldn't build warships. We built something stronger. He looked out at the stars, a reason to fight for each other. He ended the recording and hit send. The message echoed through space, bounced between satellites, ships, and hearts. The Silent Judgment turned slowly, its engines lighting up the dark. And behind it, dozens of lights appeared, ships, large and small, rising to follow. The war wasn't over, but the silence was.